Hello everyone, welcome back to Profile Lab, and this is a full stack Laravel vue.js application tutorial series. And in this video we will learn how we can use our classes, different classes, helper classes for reusable code. And also we will see how we can extend our model so that we can using trade, and we can actually not extend it, we can extend have different methods on trade, so that we can have a lot of queries there, so reusable queries. So stick with me, this is a very important tutorial. And if you have question, go ahead in our Facebook group and ask your question in our group, and I will try to answer as quickly as possible. Now I have a route copied here, and I have just pasted accounts, controller and class. We will learn. Now here we see a lot of method defined in our controller, because this is automatically generated by the module, so I will remove all of them. Now we can create a public function that's called class, and then from here we can, normally you will have lots of logic here, and then you will return the data. Okay, so we were not going to do a little bit this way, since this is a little bigger project. We will have lots of code, and then needs to be reused by different controller, by different modules. So let's see how we can achieve all those things using service classes and trade on PHP. Now let's first of all return this is nice from controller. So we are just using a controller, and you can assume we have a lot of code here. And now here we can say we can return it. So you can see we have this is a nice from controller. This text is getting returned. Now how we can have a function that will return the exact same thing, but it doesn't live inside the controller. Okay, so how do we do that? So in order to make it possible, we will make a new folder. Let's call it account service, and inside account service let's create a new account service class. So let's do that. Here we have account service class. We will create a class, and then we will namespace it. So we have the namespace. Okay, now we will create a public function here, test. Let's say we name it test data, and here we can simply return, or we can write all the logic that is required to return the test data instead of writing here. So that means if this test data is required by some other controller, by some other method, we can simply call that one, and it will return exactly what we need. Okay, I will show you the real example in my later videos, but let's see how we can implement that. So this is returning from service class. That's fine, we are returning that. Now let's see how we can use this class inside our controller. So we will need to know how to do the dependency injection in Laravel. So we will do something like this. We will inject this class right into the method, and we will name it anything. So we can name it account, and now we can actually return account. We can return account. So we inside this account, this we have all the instance of this object of this account service class. So we have access all the method defined in this account service class. So we can now call this way. Perfect, right? Now if we do a refresh here, we have an error simply because we are using the account service class using the dependency injection, but the problem is we have not imported it. So now let's see how we can import it. So import class, we have a namespace already defined, so it's easy to import. Now that's all fine, we should be able to get the result now. Perfect, this is returning from the service class. Now similar way, if you have more let's say more function more method that need to reuse your code, so we can, let's say class 2. Okay, and now you can simply return from there as well. So this way you can obviously you should have a lot of code in here. That way it will make sure that this piece of code has been reused by everyone wherever it is required. Okay, so in class 2, if we do this way, let's say if we do class 2, that's okay. Now if we do this way, it is getting returned the same exact piece of string. But the problem of this code is that we have to inject our service classes with every method. That's really irritating. So we get an error if we do not define it. Okay, so let's make it easier for us. Instead of writing this way, we will make a constructor and we will use the property defined at the top. So let's make a private variable, private property account, and then we will make a constructor public function construct. I hope I have the correct spelling. And now all you just need to do is the same exact way, and then we will just simply assign the variable this account equal account. That's fine. Now instead of using account as data, we have to reference it using this, because now account is a property of this class. We have to access this way. Now if we use the same way here, we should be able to get the test data. Perfect. So wherever we go, we can reuse our code. So if you guys have questions, don't hesitate to go to our Facebook group and ask the question. And if you are a premium member, you can directly contact me and chat with me, or post a question in our premium group. Okay. And I think I'm going a little bit faster here. I will try to slow it down a little bit, but yeah. Now you understand right now how we can reuse our account service class, and that's not only for this account controller. We can reuse it anywhere in this whole project we want. So that's really nice. And now let's see, let's have a real .env file. Yes, and okay, we do have a .env file there. And here we will use my previous full stack tutorials database. So we will call the user class, and we'll see how we can make it reusable really nice. So let's see how we can extend our write queries. Okay, some people prefer to create repositories, and actually quite a few, but I don't like to do this way. I will instead extend the model itself, so that whatever it is required we can extend and can be reused by anyone in the whole team or by any places. So let's say you have a user class, user.php here, user.php, and if I in here, let's say if I return user.all, then it will return all the user in the database. So let's refresh this page. User not defined, that's obvious, we have not imported it. So import this class user. So we have imported this class. Fine. So we get all the list of the users from our user class, user model actually. Now let's see how we can make use. This is very much simple example. Let's say you want to get user by key. You cannot have we don't have any method defined like this. So instead we might have use like that, user where, let's say queries ID. We have to define, okay, ID is let's say what ID we have. We have 2 here or 3, and then we have to write first. Obviously this query can be a little bigger, even bigger, complex joins, and a lot of things can be in here. So what we can do here is that we can make similarly a different service classes, account service class, exactly, so that this simple query, this can definitely be very complex. So we can, however, use the same query everywhere. Let's say this exact query is required to use in here as well, so we have to rewrite it. Okay, so this is kind of repeating. Okay, this is a very simple example, but it can be little bigger. Okay, now let's see how we can extend. We can use trade for our user class, and then we can extend that. Okay, so now let's say we have account module, and we can say new folder query, or more explicitly we can say user query, because it will return it will have all the query that is related with the user only. Okay, so user query, and we have a new file. Let's create a new file, user query.php. That's really fine, and let's make a trade, and we will definitely namespace it. So that's fine. Now we can create a public function with parameter. That's okay. We can say get user by key, and the param can be key and name. Okay, so sorry, key and value, and from here we can return user, where this can be definitely a complex query, but let's stick with a very simple one, and we can write first. Nice. So now I want to use this method instead, just like this. So how do I use this way? So this method can be used by any classes, anywhere in my project. So how do I use that? So instead of use that in a statical way, we need to define it as a static method. So public static function. So we have defined it that way, and we have to import. We have to use that here. So we will say, okay, use the user query, and that's fine. Let's check it out now. We are inside class, so if user query not found, so we have to import that. Import class. Okay, we have to pass it. So what we have to pass is, let's say we are searching for with ID and 3. Now let's check it out. User not found. Okay, I'm really sorry that sometimes I really forget to import different classes. Definitely this class. Okay, am I returning anything? Let's check it out again. So you get by ID, and am I returning from here? Okay. Laravel. Let's check it. Check the storage folder in order to get see if we have an error or not. I'm not sure what is returning. Database. No, we don't have any logs. Storage folder, logs, Laravel. So let's clear that log. Nope. We're hitting class. Let's use that. It's working. If I comment it out, app user query, we have user query here, key value, okay, perfect. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but it's all working nice. So now let's say we want to have a lot of logics. We can use the same exact code inside our test as well, test data service. So if we have let's say, where is our service? Account service class. So this is the account service class. We can use the we can use this same method exactly here, and instead of just returning text, we can return our user, and we must import the class at the top. Perfect. Now we can use this class everywhere. It's really as simple as that. And now if I user query account service, now we are trying to do the test data, we are getting the same exact result. Okay, so why do we even need that? So in user let's say you have user.php. In user.php you can this class, whenever you require to call some method, let's say whenever you need to use user model anywhere in your controller, in your service, or different modules, if you need it, there will be chances you are repeating your queries, complex queries again and again and again. So we can actually eliminate these possibilities using a thread with attaching with each model. See, Laravel using modifiable, we can use our own. So using this way, we can actually easily extend with different methods. Okay, so if while developing the whole application, we might encounter a lot of necessary reusable code. For example, if we even look at this query, this is pretty simple, but this can be returned by ID, email, first name, last name, or even forgot password code or different column value. Okay, so this code can be reused in a lot of places, just calling this one. So that means we are using a very simpler way to reuse our code. And thank you guys for watching these videos, and if you like, please go ahead and subscribe this video, subscribe this channel, and like this video and share. Thank you so much. Have a nice time. Good day.